you have to give testimony in a criminal court case. Like most people, you might be a bit nervous. This fear is usually because, like most people, you do not know what to expect when you go to court. The purpose of this video is to provide you with information on the court process. The hope is that the more you know, the more comfortable you will be when it's time to give your testimony. The testimony you give in court is the basic evidence that will be heard by the jury and judge. The integrity of our justice system depends on the credibility and truthfulness of witnesses like yourself. In other words, the justice system depends on you.
When you give your testimony, there will be different persons present in the courtroom. And you might be wondering, who are these people? The complainant is the victim of the crime. In some cases, you might be the complainant. The defendant is the person who is accused of committing the crime against the complainant. It is important to remember that the law considers the defendant innocent until proven guilty. The prosecutor is the lawyer who argues in court that the defendant should be found guilty of the crime. The defense attorney protects the defendant's interests and is expected to prove the defendant's innocence. The judge is the referee. She or he tells the jury about the law, ensures the defense and prosecutor present their case as required by law, and might ask questions, and then impose a sentence if the defendant is found guilty. The jury listens to the evidence presented and then decides if the defendant is guilty or not guilty. The court recorder records everything that is said and done in the courtroom.
When giving your testimony, you will first be asked questions by the prosecutor. After this, the lawyer for the defendant will also ask you questions, and this is called cross-examination. If the prosecutor has additional questions, he or she might ask you even more questions. Sometimes the jury can also ask questions with the help of the judge. This process might take a while, so if you get tired or you need to use the bathroom, please do not be afraid to ask the judge for a break. You are expected to always tell the truth. If you do not know the answer to a question, just say so. If you're not sure about a question, please ask for clarification. Do not guess. If the question is too complicated, always ask for the question to be simplified. Some of the questions might make you feel uncomfortable. Try not to get angry or shout at the person asking the question. Instead, let the judge know that the questions are causing you discomfort. The judge is there to help and guide you. The experience of being a witness is likely to be new and unfamiliar. Some witnesses may be especially vulnerable because of their circumstances or the nature of the testimony they may be asked to give to the court.
To support these witnesses giving testimony without feeling afraid or intimidated, the court puts in place what are called special measures. One example of a special measure is the use of a live video link. This allows vulnerable witnesses to give testimony without having to be physically present in court. An example of a vulnerable witness is a child under the age of 14 or a sexual assault survivor who is fearful of seeing the defendant while giving their testimony. The prosecutor in your case has the responsibility for ensuring all vulnerable witnesses receive that required special measure.
The court has also put in place other things to make you comfortable. A special waiting room. You can have a support person with you throughout the experience. And a separate entrance to the courtroom.
After you have finished giving your testimony, you will be excused from the courtroom. You may choose to stay for the remainder of the trial, but you can choose to leave. The prosecutor will inform you of the outcome in the case.
At an appropriate time, you may be asked to complete a customer satisfaction survey. This is anonymous, so you do not need to provide your name. It is important to complete the survey so that the court process can be improved for you and other witnesses.
We appreciate your participation in the court process. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We're here to help.